Whispers in the library. It was the final year at Valley High, a school tucked away in a small, sleepy town surrounded by thick woods and whispered legends. Among the students was Iona, a quiet and artistic girl who preferred the company of books to people. She was known for her vivid imagination and the habit of sketching eerie, otherworldly scenes in her notebook. One rainy evening, Iona was in the school library, searching for a book to inspire her latest art project. The library was nearly empty, except for a boy sitting in the far corner. He was unfamiliar to her, a tall, handsome figure with an aura of mystery. His sharp features and piercing green eyes seemed almost too perfect, like they were drawn by her own hand. As Iona browsed the shelves, she felt his gaze follow her. When she glanced back, he was gone. A strange chill ran down her spine, but she shook it off, dismissing it as her imagination. The next day, the same boy appeared in her literature class. His name was Malik, and he had transferred from a distant city. Despite his charm, he was reserved, speaking only when called upon. Yet, every time Iona caught his eyes, it felt as if he knew her deepest thoughts. Their paths crossed again in the library that evening. This time, Malik approached her. "You're Iona, right?" he said, his voice smooth but tinged with an unplaceable sadness. She nodded, unsure how he knew her name. "I've seen your sketches," he continued. "They're hauntingly beautiful." Iona was taken aback. No one had ever described her art that way. "Thank you," she said softly. "I didn't think anyone noticed." They began talking, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Malik seemed to understand her in a way no one else did. He spoke of places she had only dreamed of, as if he had seen them himself. Over the following weeks, Iona and Malik grew closer. They spent hours together in the library, sharing secrets and dreams. Yet, there was always something enigmatic about him. He avoided personal questions, and no one else at school seemed to know much about him. One night, Iona stayed late at school to finish a painting for the art fair. The building was eerily quiet, and as she walked, she felt a strange presence. She turned to see Malik standing in the doorway. "You shouldn't be here this late," he said, his voice low and urgent. Iona laughed nervously. "It's just school. What's the worst that could happen?" His expression darkened. "There are things you don't understand, Iona. Shadows that linger where they shouldn't." Before she could respond, the lights flickered and went out. Panic bubbled in her chest. "Malik," she called, but he was gone. The air grew cold, and whispers filled the room, soft, ghostly voices. Shadows danced across the walls, and Iona's heart raced. She ran into the hallway, searching for Malik. At the end of the corridor, she saw him, his figure illuminated by the moonlight streaming through a broken window. "Malik," she cried, running toward him. But as she reached out, he dissolved into a swirl of shadows. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening. Suddenly, she felt hands grab her shoulders and shake her. "Iona! Wake up!" She opened her eyes to find herself in her bed, her mother standing over her, concern etched on her face. "You were having a nightmare," her mother said softly. Iona sat up, her heart still pounding. It had felt so real. She looked at her desk and froze. There, on top of her sketchbook, was a single black feather. From that day on, Iona couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. And in the quiet corners of the library, she sometimes thought she heard Malik's voice, whispering her name. It was only a dream, wasn't it?